Ukrainian defense forces destroyed an advanced ammunition depot in the Avdiivka direction. A large ammunition depot of the Russian armed forces has been destroyed near Avdiivka, where the Russian army has been on the offensive for more than 2 months. The video of the liquidation was made public in the network on January 3. It was filmed with the help of an AFU drone. It is known that the warehouse placed by the Russian occupants in the center of the occupied village of Vodyanoye southwest of Avdiivka was hit. As a result of a direct hit, there was a detonation of ammunition. A huge smoke mushroom rose above the place of arrival, which was visible tens of kilometers away. The losses of the Russian military forces in this strike are being specified. Judging by the power of the explosion, the warehouse was concentrated an impressive number of shells for the offensive. It should be noted that the Russian armed forces are on the offensive from the north and south, trying to take Avdiivka in pincers. In parallel, the Russians are storming this fortification from the east head-on, suffering huge losses. Also, another Russian general said goodbye to his life in Ukraine in a full-scale invasion. Igor Trifonov, a former major general of the Russian Interior Ministry from Yekaterinburg, has gone to the Russian Federation in a zinc coffin. The death of the higher-ranking Russian security officer was reported by a number of Russian media outlets on January 3. Trifonov was formerly the head of the police force of Russia's Yekaterinburg. He lost his post and rank in 2022 as he was sentenced to 9 years in prison for bribery. To get a pardon, he signed a contract with the occupation army of the Russian Federation and went to Ukraine to fight in the war. The Russian lived at the front for a short time. The circumstances of the death of the former major general are hidden. It is known that he was liquidated at the end of 2023, but his wife was informed about it only on January 2. Note that the practice of recruiting convicts in Russian prisons for the war with Ukraine back in 2022 began the Russian PMC Wagner. After the group was liquidated, the Russian Defense Ministry continued recruiting prisoners. Convicts sign a contract with the army for 6 months, for which they receive a pardon from Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. The command of the Russian armed forces does not spare the lives of prisoners, using them in so-called meat assaults. Their losses are colossal. Mobile air defense fire groups played a significant role in repelling a massive missile and drone attack on Kiev and the region, which the occupants carried out on January 2. According to the commander of the Unified Forces of the AFU, Serhiy Nayev, that night and morning the soldiers of the mobile air defense groups of the Northern Operational Zone hit 8 out of 17 drones shot down by the defense forces and 11 out of 48 cruise missiles. The general noted that the AFU is creating new groups, which are not tied to specific locations during the strikes of enemy long-range aircraft, which makes their work very effective. They are armed with short-range SAMs, they use anti-aircraft guns, Western Stingers, Igla developed in the USSR, as well as large-caliber machine guns. Serhiy Nayev came to the fighters and thanked them for the hundreds and even thousands of lives of peaceful Ukrainians saved.